This is Dutch Moyer coming to you live from Ursinus College in Collegeville, Pennsylvania. Grant, it's a pleasure to meet you. Grant is a representative from MCC. It is because of Grant that I got involved with the MCC Penny Power Peace Challenge. And for our viewers out there, explain a little bit about MCC and the good work that they're doing.
Sure. MCC is an Anabaptist ministry, serves worldwide in more than 50 countries around the world with the purpose of sharing God's love and compassion for all in the name of Christ by responding to basic human needs, food, water, shelter, and by working for peace and justice. And MCC works in the hope of a vision where everyone in the world can live in right relationship with each other, with God, and with the creation that God has given us.
Fantastic. And when people donate to the MCC Penny Power Peace Challenge, the money that we are raising, how does that go about making a difference? How does MCC work with the various countries that they work with?
One of the things that's very important for MCC is to work with local partners, people who are in the context and who understand the local culture. And we do that wherever we are around the world. Sometimes that means through local Anabaptist churches, sometimes through Catholic or Presbyterian churches, sometimes with local organizations of other faiths. And in every case, they are united by the common purpose of building a just and peaceful future for all of God's children. I think that one thing that MCC does with funds that are donated for peace work is work at healing relationships. We know that there are many conflicts around the world and that they can have a profound impact on the lives of people in those areas. And so sometimes after a conflict has happened, one of the important things is to begin healing those relationships. Just like a physical wound, it takes time to heal. Using certain practices is like medicine, something that will help the healing happen faster. Out of that, there are obviously then sometimes that conflicts don't go away all at once. And so sometimes it's working to train people in skills and bring groups together that together can resist a return to violence. You've just returned from Egypt, and I think one of the heartening things about that is that so many people resisted a movement towards violence. There was some violence, and tragically there was some loss of life. But overall, I think it's been a miracle that has worked so well. In the same way that in our own country, we have the history of the civil rights movement.
Absolutely. As
a conflict that had simmered for centuries, that was able to be resolved and moved forward in a direction of justice that was not violent, that was peaceful. And I think Martin Luther King said the arc of history is long, but it bends towards justice. And I think MCC tries to work within that because God is moving us as a human people towards justice and peace for all nations.
And you have some personal experience as well, having traveled to Haiti. Share a little bit about what MCC is doing in Haiti today.
Certainly. Haiti was, of course, a natural disaster. And again, MCC's purpose is to respond to basic human needs. And so in the immediate aftermath, it was providing food and temporary shelter. But MCC always stays for the long term, long after the cameras have left. And so MCC currently is working at restoring homes or repairing homes that were damaged. There are more than 1 million people that are still living in tent camps in Haiti, even a year following the earthquake. And many of those, some of those, more than 100,000, have homes that they could return to that have fairly minor damage. But getting together $2,000 to do those repairs can be a huge hurdle in a country where I think the average annual income is around $800. So MCC is helping with a grant for labor and materials, and also expertise in how to build more earthquake-resistant homes. MCC also works providing cash for work type programs so that people can earn a living and begin to provide for their families. And MCC there is also working at what we call trauma healing. Natural disasters cause scars just like a man-made disaster. And there's certainly, I tend to think of students who lived through the earthquake, who maybe are in school one day, 3 months later, a year later. What happens if a big truck goes by? You know how big trucks, they can vibrate windows. You feel that.
Sure.
For those people, suddenly, that might put them back in that space of, will my school fall down? Will my family be okay? And we found in work after the tsunami in Indonesia and many other places that working intentionally with children and with adults to work through that trauma and to heal it is an important part of recovery.
And I think one of the special distinctions that why I got involved with MCC was that a high percentage of the money donated goes directly to the people it's intended to help. And share a little bit about MCC and how the money gets spent to help people.
Sure. Basically, when MCC welcomes any donation of where needed most, because that can respond to needs as they emerge and cover some of the costs that any organization needs to maintain. But if one designates to a particular program, all of that money goes to that program.
And it's amazing, too, because a little bit goes a long way. We talk about with the MCC Penny Power Peace Challenge how our small change can make big change in the lives of people around the world. Some of these countries, like you mentioned, earn maybe a couple dollars a day. And so by donating to MCC, what a wonderful, positive difference you can make in the lives of these people and give them hope so that they, when people have dignity about their lives and about who they are and that they can support their families, like you did in Haiti, by MCC being present there, you found that people, when they had the opportunity to earn money for work, they reinvested that